Boundaries by Dr. John Townsend and Henry Cloud. When to say yes and how to say no. Welcome to the Book Club. This is where we serve you fresh reviews every week on the best books in philosophy, psychology, anything that will help us learn about human nature and human potential. And this week we're looking at boundaries. And if you follow me for a while, especially on Instagram, you might notice that I don't research the books I pick up very well. And this was the case with this one. I actually mentioned to a colleague that I bought this book a while back, and he got really excited about the topic of boundaries. So he got the book, he started reading it before I got to start reading mine, and I asked him how was the book, and he said, yeah, it's good, but you really have to see past all the biblical stuff. And I was like, all right, I didn't know there were anything like that. And then I picked this book up, and if I would have read on the backside I would have understood. But this is not about just regular boundaries, this is about biblical boundaries. I mean, there's probably something we can learn either way, even though I'm not a super religious Christian person myself. Right, so let's jump into it. One key thing that I learned from this book is don't water someone else's lawn. Don't cover up for other people's irresponsible behavior. How's your irresponsible son gonna learn how to handle money if you're always there with a handout? How is your colleague who delivers sloppy work gonna learn about the consequences of his behavior if you're always covering his or her back? And I quote, "To rescue people from the natural consequences of their behavior is to render them powerless." End quote. Quote, look at it this way. It is as if he is your neighbor who never waters his lawn, but whenever you turn on your sprinkler system, the water falls on his lawn, and your grass is turning brown and dying, but Bill's looks down at his grass and thinks to himself, my yard is doing fine. That is how your son's life is. He doesn't study or plan or work, yet he has a nice place to live, plenty of money, and all the rights of a family member who is doing his part. If you would define the property lines a little better, if you would fix the sprinkler system so that the water would fall on your lawn instead, then if he didn't water his lawn, he would have to live in the dirt. He might not like that after a while. As it stands now, he's irresponsible and happy, and you are responsible and miserable. A little boundary clarification would do the trick. You need some fences to keep his problems out of your yard and in his, where they belong. Another thing this book talks about is giving out of fear. There's a lot of people who have boundary issues that feel like they love too much, right? They give too much. But in fact, this behavior is usually triggered by a fear of losing other people's love if they are not self-sacrificing all the time. If you find yourself with underdeveloped boundaries, then there's good news for you. And I quote, "Have confidence in your ability to learn." There's nothing that you presently can do that you did not have to learn. At one point, all the things you do with ease today were new, unfamiliar, and frightening to you. For me, one thing was public speaking, putting my first YouTube video up, starting to write. I mean, even asking people for things. There's a lot of things that were scary that you learn. And this is true for boundaries too. If you adopt a growth mindset, you will cease to fear the future in the same way, because you realize that all the fears that you have in your head usually never manifest in the world, and that will build a bit better tolerance for uncertainty. Building boundaries, it's going to be a journey, but it's not too late for anyone, and it's like any other skill. It's just practice, and learning about it. Going into this book, I was not sure about where I was standing boundary wise. Did I have any at all? But after reading it, it feels like, yeah, I'm in a pretty good place, and my aim right now is to improve them, to make them rock solid. Unfortunately, other books, like for example Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche, Essentialism, these two books actually did more for developing my boundaries than this book did. But if you really struggle with asserting yourself, then this book is a must read. For me, I'm now looking for more books on the topic because I want to develop really exceptional boundaries. That's my goal. That's it. Share any stories about you practicing your boundaries. Where are you boundary wise? I want to hear everything in the comments. Subscribe, like, ring the bell, yada yada, all of that, because that helps me reach more people. I'm back next week with more reviews. Right now I'm reading The Life of Pythagoras, Learn, Improve, Master. This book is also about skill attaining. So yeah, more books coming up, but until then, Bjorn out. See you next week.